Welcome to Lost Woods Radio, a podcast where two friends do their best to detail every game in the Legend of Zelda series from memory. I'm Silver, along with my co-host Ellie. Today the game is A Link to the Past. I'm very excited for this. This is probably the Zelda game that I have replayed the most.
Oh, that's funny, because this is the Zelda game that I played last.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's not necessarily... I have to think about it when we get to the ranking. I don't think it's my favorite, but it's definitely in the top 3 for me. But it's absolutely the one that I've beaten the most times.
Nice.
So, I mean, segment 1 here, is what is our history with the game? So for me, I did not get to play this right when it came out. I did not have a Super Nintendo until very, very late in the Super Nintendo life cycle, and then I only had it for a month.
Oh.
But this was one of the games that I had at the time, and I think when I got the Super Nintendo, I played it almost nonstop until I beat this. Which, I mean, nowadays is not super long. It is not Twilight Princess or Breath of the Wild do everything style runs, right? Where it's 30-ish hours or anything like that. But I had a ton of fun with it back in the day. And I want to say, like, it wasn't super long after I beat the first Legend of Zelda that I got the chance to play Link to the Past. Because, again, I had played Legend of Zelda 1, we mentioned in previous episodes, a lot. But I had not beaten it until I had beaten Zelda 2. I want to say this was only like a year or two after the first time I beat the first one. Now, you said you had played it recently.
Yes, yeah. This is actually like the most recent one that I completed, I think. In fact, no, that's a lie. I'm already telling lies. It's the second to last one that I beat. But it's also like I guess the last Zelda game I had to play out of all of them. Because as we've kind of covered in the previous episodes, like I didn't finish all of the Zelda games, but I did finish A Link to the Past. And yeah, it was really weird going to it after playing like all of the other games.
And
seeing where so much comes from, like even just in general gaming terms, like this game has informed so much. So it was a really cool experience getting to play it through.
Your first Zelda was Ocarina?
No, it was Phantom Hourglass.
Phantom Hourglass, right.
Yeah.
Which is actually kind of great because Phantom Hourglass takes so much from A Link to the Past anyway.
Yes.
So that's actually almost kind of perfect. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then you had you played it before you played it the last time, or was the last time?
No, I literally never touched it before.
Gotcha.
It was my first playthrough of A Link to the Past that I did for an event. And I have played like a chunk of Echoes of Wisdom. I've played Link's Awakening. I've obviously like spent a lot of time in the 3D games, which aren't quite as comparable. But yeah, it was bizarre kind of knowing the map and like knowing roughly where things were and mostly how to navigate it and stuff was really interesting. But obviously like having absolutely no knowledge of how to solve anything.
Sure.
So yeah, it was super cool.
Okay. Well, with that said, we get to now talk about what the actual events of the game are, which is weird because they've been recontextualized a lot throughout the years.
For good reason.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of things have changed around the events of The Link to the Past. So, all right. I remember the intro a lot. So, they did not know At the time, there was no concept truly at the start of the game of like the Dark World or even kind of the concept of the Triforce in the intro. It's called a Golden Power, and it's hidden in a Golden Land.
I love that they were like, and this with this game, they just like added stuff to it.
Yep. And so, at least in the intro, you are not aware of what happens there or anything like that. You just know, hey, shit was going real bad. Monsters were coming out of the Golden Land. And so the king at that time got a bunch of sages together and they sealed it off. And that should be permanently. And then generations go by and people forget about it. And then it starts up with, oh God, I never say the name right. Aghanim. Aghanim, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Shows up, kills the king at the time, and starts like taking over the kingdom, starts sending away any of the descendants that are of the original sages, and locks up Princess Zelda. And that's like the intro of the game.
I feel like I've already forgotten so much of this game despite only playing it like 2 months ago.
Also, like when I was young, I could never say the name right. I think I have it right. I think that's right. Aghanim.
Yeah,
I always said it
Aghanim.
was Anaheim, which is not right. That's a place
Close
in Florida. Or it was like Anagim or something like that. Let's see. The game opens up on Link, who has family, and he's sleeping.
Oh, yeah.
And his uncle leaves, and then Link has like telepathic dreams from Zelda, right? Like she's like, hey, come save me. I'm Princess Zelda. Which is weird because I think she actually knows his name at the time. So Link wakes up, it's storming outside. He wanders around to go to the palace. It seems normal, but everything, obviously, like he's a random kid, so they don't let him in. He makes his way into the castle to find his uncle.
Yes.
Dead, not dead, knocked out? We're not quite sure.
Asleep. Let's say asleep.
Yes, we'll say asleep. Like he wakes up enough to say like, hey, you need to go help, blah, blah, blah. And gives you his sword and shield, I think. Is that right? Or does he
gives
just give you the
some
shield?
stuff that doesn't help you as much as it probably should.
Yes.
Like,
I mean, I guess Link in this one, I think, is meant to be like a teenager, but a very young teenager.
They still call him a boy, though, don't they?
Yes. You make it through the dungeon, which I think is the first appearance of that dungeon music. It gets reused a few times later on. You meet Princess Zelda. Then you break out by going through the sewers and ending up under a church. Why did the sewers in the castle connect to the church? We're going to say it was a planned escape route, but that doesn't explain why they used the sewers for it.
Yes.
We meet, I guess, the chaplain and leave Zelda with him and try to figure out whatever the hell else is going on.
That's when, isn't that Sahasrahla?
We're sent to go find Sahasrahla. I think that's right. Sahasrahla. Sarah.
Yeah, Sarah.
We're sent to go to find him, which sends us over to Kakariko Village, which this is the actual first appearance of Kakariko Village, unlike my bad, confused memory of Zelda 2, which also means it's like, hey, the first occurrence of the Kakariko theme. And we meet an old lady there who says, hey, you got to go find Sahasrahla. He's not here. He's out over in this place over here. We see a thief running around with running boots.
Wait, what?
Yeah, the guy in the red outfit that runs away from you in the center of Kakariko Village, and you have to catch him.
Oh, and you have to catch him.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. And I forgot if we immediately go to Sahasrahla or we end up going somewhere else.
I don't remember. This game, I played it over the course of literally 2 days. Like, it was 2 streams for me. I finished it real fast. I remember being in a forest for a very long time.
Oh, yeah, the Lost Woods.
I remember, like, a golden baguette and pushing a statue, but not realizing I had to push a statue.
Wait, I need context. A golden baguette?
Yeah, a golden baguette.
I'm going to need more context to that. Do you mean like the bracelet?
Make you a golden baguette.
I do not remember a golden baguette.
I think it was a sword upgrade. There was just everyone in chat got really excited about a golden baguette. So
golden baguette, okay.
Yeah, the dwarf guys.
I'm going to be very interested when we look up what the heck we're talking about, and you can explain to me what the golden baguette is.
Yeah.
So we end up going to the first dungeon in the game, which Sahasrahla is there right outside it, and he gives us the running boots. And he tasks us with going to find 3 amulets, but we have so that we can actually unlock the Master Sword. That takes us to... Oh god, what are the 3 dungeons?
I'm going to get really confused between this and Link's Awakening. I'm going to be real with you. Like, I was consistently confused while I was playing it. The first 3, one had water. There was like up and down water. And maybe the thieves' hideout was one of them as well. With the guy that you have to shine the light on. I don't know. I don't remember.
Okay. So if
Wait, one was you have to climb the ruins. You go through all the trellises and stuff, and you climb the ruins, and I think that might be the first one.
no, I think that's Link's Awakening.
Really? No, it is A Link to the Past.
Trellis that you have to climb.
There's like a maze, but it's not the Lost Woods maze. And there's like patches that you can see down through to like work out which path you're meant to take.
And then when you finally get up to the top, you deal with the worm boy. What's his name? So the first dungeon, the Sahasrahla dungeon.
The burger caterpillar.
Yes. That's the first dungeon after Sahasrahla, because the first dungeon was Sahasrahla. I think we get the bow, right? And we have to deal with the 6 jumping statues. Is that right?
Sure.
Or is that the Desert Palace?
That sounds about right. And there was a puzzle that I solved immediately where you have to shoot
that's
a
right.
statue.
I can't remember the dungeon names, because the first 3 are just like the palaces, right?
They don't have names. If I remember rightly.
It's like the Eastern Palace and the Desert Palace.
But the names are like a thing that is not mentioned in the game.
No,
there's no name cards for like places or bosses
And then the last one's the tower in the mountains.
Yeah, all the way up.
Yep. And then you have to go back to Hyrule Castle and fight your way back in, right? Right. Okay.
Do you get turned into a bunny at that point? Is that point, or is that afterwards?
That's after Hyrule Castle.
Okay.
I mean, that is the end of Hyrule Castle, right? Like, you try to save blah, 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 and then you get Anaheim. Sends you to the Dark World. Instead of dying, you get turned into a pink rabbit.
Yes.
Yes. And then at that point, you have to start rescuing the quote-unquote sages, which are all of these, like, descendants that are all, like, the granddaughters of the sages, including Zelda. And, like, the castle's all... we totally forgot. Before this point, the castle lists you as, like, a mercenary burglar that stole the princess and are the reason for all the thing that's gone wrong.
Yes, and there's wanted posters everywhere. And you're like, I'm helping.
Yes. And everyone thinks you're like a murderer and all that stuff. But then you get to the Dark World, which we don't know what's going on, because it's definitely not golden in any way, right? And then you've got a lot of actual dungeons / palaces, right? There's the swamp and Skull Woods.
Yes.
We forgot the friggin'... So after you get the 3 baubles, before you go to Hyrule Castle, you go to Lost Woods. Like the actual Lost Woods, which is not the first appearance of the Lost Woods. We didn't talk about this. The Lost Woods was in Zelda 1. But this is the first time it's actually like woods and not here's a map with 4 trees on it.
Confusing woods.
Yes. And there's
actually
a ton of fake Master Swords all over the place.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. It's just swords that are just randomly stuck in the ground because of reasons. And you pick them up and it's like, hey, you found this. Or, this is worthless. But then you find the actual Master Sword, and it's this big open valley that has all these bunnies and squirrels and everything that run the hell out of the way when you are walking through it. You get the Master Sword by using the 3 gems. And I think, do we already have the book at that point that lets you read Hylian?
I think you have to go get it,
because
I got all the way there and had to go all the way back.
It's like half the reason why we needed the boots, because you can go run into the library, right?
Yes. Right. Yeah, because you have to run into the bookcase, don't you? And knock it down. Because I got all the way to the Master Sword, and I was like, I can't read.
Yes, I can't read. And you need that also to get into one of the palaces.
The desert one.
Yeah.
Desert. Swamp.
Yep.
Swamp.
Yes. Swamp. No, swamp is Dark World, so this would have been desert.
Yes. Maybe that's what I was thinking of as opposed to the Master Sword. Maybe I couldn't read to get into the desert.
Yes, definitely. Yes. Because then it's like the Swamp Palace in the Dark World is the same place where there's like hey, pull these things to empty out the lake in the Light World. And where you can get a talking fish.
Yes.
So you make your way through these dungeons. You get like first occurrence of the hook shot. I think I don't think it's the first occurrence of the magic boomerang. I think you get the magic boomerang in Zelda 1, right? Eventually and upgraded.
I don't remember. I'm
first
really useful in this podcast.
That's okay. Look, you're helping me remember things that I forgot. Like, so definitely, you meet a bunch of like greater fairies for the first time in these games. In Link of the Past is the first time you see like, hey, this is more than just a fairy that refills your hearts.
Oh yeah, and you throw your stuff into the fountain, and then they're like, "Did you mean to do this?" And you're like, "Yes."
Why are you littering? And then if you're honest, they're like, "Okay, here's a better version of that."
Yeah. Yeah, I did it by accident the first time, and like completely panicked.
Yeah, it's like, oh god, am I not getting this back? And then there's one fountain where you can just throw a bunch of money into, and you get what, like bomb bag upgrades, I think.
I don't know. I did what I could in that game. Tried my best.
First time you can meet Zora and talk to them.
Yes.
Yep, you go get the flippers from them. That's what lets you swim. Because Link drowns immediately without them. So, okay, the order of events. We get to the Dark World. We go around the palaces there. We eventually find, before we can really do anything in the palaces, we find the magic mirror, which lets us teleport back and forth between the Dark World and the Light World, as well as stay as a Link-sized person when we go to the Dark World instead of a bunny.
Yes.
At one point, you see a bully that's just like kicking a dude that's turned into a ball back and forth all over the place. That comes up later.
But,
yeah. Oh, right. And so next to Kakariko Village, there was a clearing where there's what appears to be a boy playing a ocarina, but when you go up to him, he disappears.
Yes.
When you're in the Dark World, it's never really clear. Is it his spirit that's in the Dark World or just another creature?
I kind of took it as like he'd managed to find his way into the Dark World by accident, and it was like his spirit in the Light World.
Sure.
Because it's kind of like, I don't know, from other Zelda games, it's usually, it's like the Lost Woods thing, right? Like children's spirits get trapped in there or whatever.
There's a lot of dead kids in the Zelda games now that I think about it.
Yeah.
That's a recurring theme.
Dead children and parents grieving.
Yep. Yep.
This game's for children.
I mean, look, kids got to understand other kids in peril, right? No. But I mean, it is actually interesting how often that theme happens.
Yes.
Okay, so we got over to there. We start doing the dungeons. I'm not going to, look, we're never going to remember every single dungeon in all these games, but there's there's the actual thieves hideout in the Dark World where you go down into that dungeon and fight the dude that you have to defeat with light.
The light one. Where if you find the girl and she's like, no, let's go this way. And I'm like, I'm going to go the opposite way for the entirety of all of this. And then she disappears like, I'm bored.
Yep. What else in there? So definitely the first appearance of the hook shot. Might be the first appearance of the wand that creates like platforms.
Yes. Is that ever used again?
Don't we get something like that in, not Wind Waker, actually maybe Wind Waker. Do we get something that creates platforms in Wind Waker?
No, there's the moving things around wand that crops up again.
Right.
But
That's
not like
I think they might be the same
platform
concept.
thing.
They might even have the same name now that I think about it. Oh, probably the first appearance of like the magic hammer as we know it for like knocking down platforms or little pegs and stuff like that.
Yes.
You do get a hammer in Zelda 2, but it is not used in that same way. And Fire Wand kind of existed in Zelda 1, but not quite the same way. So anyway, you make your way through the Dark World, eventually freeing all the sages to find out about Ganon. And hey, the only way you can defeat Ganon is if you get silver arrows. Which I think...
Yes, I didn't know that when I went
It's a hard time if you don't have the silver arrows.
Yeah, and like how... Is it even possible without silver arrows?
Not that I know of. Not without bugs.
I feel like it's something that's not actually explained in the game or particularly used again. Like there's definitely stuff... Like there is special arrows that are used in the future, but it's given to you. You don't have to go and find it and get it.
Yeah, so I believe the silver arrows is a callback to the first game. Because I'm pretty sure you get silver arrows in the first game right before you fight Ganon. And there's a larger fairy that they call something that I'm going to avoid for right now, but and she's the one that gives you the silver arrows. So she's real pissed off because she's been trapped here by Ganon for millennia.
Oh, I don't remember that, but I'll take your word for it.
They call her the Fat Fairy, so it's yeah, it's a time and place thing.
Is she like, I don't remember her genuinely. Is she fat and chunky and like the beautiful Breath of the Wild ones?
No. We'll look up a picture afterwards.
Okay.
But like supposedly she's also been cursed and that's not her normal form and all this other stuff. But she's the one that gives you the silver arrows, if I'm remembering correctly.
Right.
And then you go and fight Ganon. No Ganondorf in this one, just Ganon. And you do the Zelda 1, hey, let's play volleyball for a while.
Yes.
And then you win. And it is probably the first time that you see all three pieces of the Triforce in-game. And, like, obviously you see it at the intro of Link to the Past. Like, it just shows up on the title screen. And that's a big deal, right? Because, like, Zelda 1, it's only one piece of the Triforce. Zelda 2 is about finding out about the Triforce of Courage. And you do go bring it all back and then wake up ancient Zelda who is not Zelda. Look, go listen to the previous episode. It's a lot. But in this one, it's like, hey, you've gotten all the Triforce back and you seal off the Golden Land again, theoretically forever. We know that's not true. And you restore Zelda to her palace. And then it does a big montage of how everybody, like, either if you helped them out or didn't help them out, because sometimes they're just not shown if you didn't go do the little side mission.
Oh.
Yeah, so like that montage at the end, if you did not do some of the things, I think some of the characters just outright, like, it doesn't show the scene of the people.
Oh, interesting.
Because there's a ton of side stuff in this one compared to anything that came before.
Yes, yeah. They kind of fleshed it out without actually giving any information about that being a thing.
Yeah. I mean, it feels like this is where they start making it less of just, hey, I'm quickly going through these dungeons, and more of like, hey, this is kind of a world that you can go do things in.
Which is nice.
Yes.
It definitely led to, like I said, like it's influenced so much of modern Zelda and modern video games.
Yeah,
like how
absolutely.
they work and progression and exploration and things.
I mean, the funny thing, back at the time, Zelda: The Link to the Past was called a action RPG, which is not what we consider an action RPG today, in any form of the matter. Because, like, the most quote-unquote leveling up you do is you get, the little bat dude. That's definitely a first. But I'll explain what I'm saying here in a second. But the only upgrades you really get are, you can get more magic power. You can get an upgraded weapon, but it's not like, there's no experience points or anything like that. So we've been kind of phasing in and out. The third phase is like, hey, what are the first appearances from this one? So this was the first appearance of a antagonistic creature that says it's going to curse you, but actually makes you stronger instead of cursing you. That is done a few times again, and it's done in Wind Waker in a few different ways. It's definitely done in Link's Awakening. In this one, it's a little bat dude.
Yes.
And he doubles your magic power.
Yes. He's like, haha, I got you. And
yeah,
like,
now things are going to cost
Thanks.
twice as much. No, in fact, you actually just have more magic power. Yeah, so that was definitely a first. We talked about the hook shot, definitely the first. That wand is definitely the first. Kakariko Village, physically, definitely the first. Not the first for the Lost Woods, but it is the first of that forest theme in the Lost Woods, which is not usually used in the Lost Woods later, but it is used in some other places later. Kakariko Village's music is used almost every time you see Kakariko Village. It's just in different thematic place. The overworld theme is just an enhanced version of the Zelda 1 overworld theme. The Hyrule Palace music, when you're going through it as a dungeon, that does get reused a few times, including Wind Waker, but that's definitely the first time it appears as that. As Ellie said, Hamburger Worm, that is the first appearance of Golgra or something like that, right? Like Gothra or...
I want to say it's called Mulgara.
Yes, that sounds right.
Because something like that, but there's also Molduga and Moldera, and maybe it's Moldera. No, Moldera is... There's Caldera, Scaldera as well. Like it's a name that is frequently reused in a variety of ways in all of the games going forwards.
So yeah, Talking Zora, definitely the first of that. Greater Fairies, definitely the first of that. What am I forgetting? What do you feel like you were surprised to hear? Oh, I remember this when you went through.
It was, I don't know, for my experience, it was very familiar.
Mm-hmm.
It was a really fun playthrough to do because I felt like I knew everything, but it still managed to keep me interested and surprise me with things I hadn't seen before. Like, the overall experience felt very comforting, very normal, this is the Zelda I know and love. And then occasionally there'd be stuff that was just so
It's like, what
weird and never used again.
Like the giant balls that are going down the hallway and can knock you out.
I mean, there's that in the future, but like things like in the dungeon where you get the bow, I immediately solved the puzzle by shooting an arrow at a statue, and people were like, "How did you know to do that?" And I was like, "I have played every Zelda game." They make you do that again in
other Zelda games.
Yeah.
But yes, that is like the first time that they ever have you do that. And
yeah, and then like the stuff with needing the book to understand how to read the Hylian was completely new to me. So I didn't know I had to do that, you know? So it was a varied experience for me, but in a good way. And I was kind of sad when it was over. So
not the first time that Link gets magic, because that's Zelda 2, but it's definitely the first time that the magic is named after the goddesses. Because like it's Din and is this the first mention of the goddesses? Now I gotta think about this. Din, Neru, and
I don't know, because a lot of the things aren't named as such.
Yeah, well, so the spells are specifically like when you
but they're not all named after the goddesses, are they? Because there's the earthquake one.
Right.
And lightning.
I think lightning might need to have after one. We're going to definitely look that up. We're definitely going to look that up.
Is lightning the earthquake one? Yes.
Maybe.
But yeah.
First appearance of flippers. Of something that helps you swim? Absolutely. Yes. No raft in this one. Oh, the chicken.
Is this the first chicken?
This is the first chicken. For those that are like, what the hell are you talking about? So you eventually get the ability to fast travel in this game. You do that by going to what is basically...
Oh, you mean the whistle chicken. I was just talking about Cuckoos in general.
Oh, no. Actually, it may also be the first appearance of Cuckoos. It's definitely the first appearance of, hey, if you fuck with the Cuckoos, they're going to fuck with you.
Yeah. But no, you're talking about whistle chicken.
Yes. So for those that don't know what we were just talking about, I do not recommend you do this, but I will say that if you go into the Link to the Past and many of the later Zelda games and you attack a chicken repeatedly, it's going to go real bad for you.
Yeah, they're going to fight back. They don't let you, they don't take it lying down.
I appreciate whether it was intended or not, Nintendo putting in something that deters animal abuse. So
yeah.
Yes. But yes, also the whistle chicken. It's such a way to refer to it, but it's accurate. There is a wind vane.
Use him away.
That you see in a few different places, but the first one you see is in Kakariko, right? And you have to go up there with a hammer, and you go down there, and you is it like the
I thought it was related to the kid that disappears in the forest.
Oh,
he
you're
has
right.
The whistle. He has the ocarina, and then you go and ocarina do near the dad, and the dad's like, "That's my son."
Yes.
And then it teaches you that the son was friends with the animals because of his whistle. And then you go maybe you go underneath the statue. I don't remember. I think maybe
no, that's I'm
mixing
up Link's Awakening.
The chicken from the statue or something.
Mm-hmm. There's like chicken bones at some point, but that might be Link's Awakening.
What?
Yeah. And you have to bring it back to life. Don't worry about it. It's fine. We'll get there.
Just a bit of casual necromancy in your Zelda game.
Look, Link's done a lot weirder things. It's okay. But yeah, then you use the whistle and the chicken comes, and apparently Link's not that heavy or that chicken's real damn strong because
there is strong chickens.
It's like a blue jay of some kind, but it is basically the same model as a chicken.
With the strong chicken though, because like we do get strong chickens in Twilight Princess.
Mm-hmm.
There's the strong chicken. Maybe that's the Link's Awakening. There's a strong chicken again.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Man, I
only
just
one.
realized when we get to Twilight Princess, we're going to talk about Bug Girl. Anyway, oh boy. Yes, so yeah, that's definitely the first appearance there. That was always really fun to find that, because like, man, this world's big. Are we going to just... Because fast travel wasn't really a thing back in the day as a concept. I'm trying to think if there's any other games from that era that would have... Maybe Phantasy Star 2, which was an RPG. You eventually gain the ability to like go back to previous towns, but I think you still have to manually navigate there. And the chicken. God, I forgot about the chicken. What else might have been first time on there? A lot of the music in this game is reused throughout the series.
Yes,
especially
it's like a foundation.
Yeah, the Mount Doom music is reused pretty extensively later on.
God, it's a banger as well.
So good. I think some of it eventually ends up becoming the Gerudo theme, but it's very, very dichotomous. They're not the same. So, all right. Anything else you feel like you saw that it was in A Link to the Past that might have been there the first time?
Oh, I'm like racking my brains now.
Sahasrahla.
I feel like
that's the first time he's named Sahasrahla.
I feel like it's maybe the one and only time there's the dwarves.
Oh, what about, would they not have shown up in, well, it's probably the first time, but I think they might also show up in Minish Cap.
I haven't finished Minish Cap, so I wouldn't know.
That's okay. That's okay. But when we're saying the dwarves, they're like, there are smiths that work on your swords, and they're basically like a set of brothers, and they're absolutely dwarves.
Right.
Like full beards, little guys, shorter than Link, and just working on the sword.
Yeah.
All right. Here comes a fun one. Not a very difficult one, but still a fun one. Where does it fit in the timeline? Still Downfall timeline, right? No?
Yes, because they sealed the realm away. It's pre-Zelda 1, isn't it? It's the catalyst for what happens in Zelda 1 and 2.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. It's pre a lot of stuff, I think. I want to say, like, it's probably, I want to say it's the first one after Ocarina of Time, if I think about this right, in the Downfall timeline.
Yes.
Because they're still talking
it's
about,
immediately, like... It's, like, immediate... Well, not immediately, but in terms of the Zelda timeline, it's immediately after... Oopsies,
like, their poor recollection
Ganon
of the
got
golden...
in.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I think that's right. So definitely Downfall timeline. Probably as we get there, the first in the Downfall timeline. I'm just going to put this on our little sheet. Where does it rank on your personal list of Zelda games? So as a reminder, right now, because I'm going to pull that link up, right now, we have, from our personal ranking of Zelda games, we have a Legend of Zelda and Link's Adventure. And for you have Legend of Zelda and then Link's Adventure. And then I have, The Adventure of Link. And then I have The Adventure of Link and then Legend of Zelda.
I would put it above those two.
Makes sense.
Because I enjoyed it. And I finished it.
Yes. It is a hell of a game. Gotta get into the right thing to edit our timeline. But yeah, the events of this game are narratively important, but the actual, like, impact of this game is very important. They do so many things in this game that informs what they do later on in other Zeldas.
Yes.
A lot of the callbacks that we see in later Zeldas are in some way back to this. The music is foundational for the series. Like, the overworld music is absolutely from Zelda 1, and that's foundational there. But a lot of Zelda 2 music doesn't carry forward, even though a lot of it's actually pretty decent. But Link to the Past, man, that music is used a dozen places over.
Yep. It brings so much to the rest of the franchise in a way that they clearly didn't intend with how it's written and the narrative aspects, I guess. Like, it feels like there's so little story and the translation is really not good, but it's formative for the success of the franchise, I think.
Yes. So that covers all of the segments for the episode. That talks about everything we want to talk about with A Link to the Past. I will say, if you've not played A Link to the Past, go do it.
Yeah.
Go discover about Whistle
Play
Chicken.
it on Switch, where you can do the rewind feature.
Or if you're a weirdo like me that has a 3DS with the frickin' ambassador thing, go play it on your 3DS. Man. All right, folks. That does mean the next game is going to be Link's Awakening. And we will see you again. Thanks for listening to Lost Woods Radio.